Jenelle Evans testified against her estranged husband, David Eason, and many gruesome details were revealed. Followers felt Jenelle should be considered an accomplice after what she shared. It seemed that she enabled him, and that has caused a lot of trauma. So what did Jenelle have to say about her ex? Keep reading for more details. Jenelle Evans testifies against ex David Eason was never someone to be messed with. He and Jenelle Evans always had a contentious relationship, and it caused them to be fired from Teen Mom. In 2019, he shot and killed their dog, Nugget, which was the last straw for MTV. During the next 5 years, they would throw allegations at each other but still remained an item no matter how bad it got. In September 2023, Jenelle's son, Jace, claimed David assaulted him, which led to his running away for the third time in 2 months. CPS got involved, but not much happened. Jenelle Evans, David Eason. When Jace was returned to Jenelle, she left David, was rehired by MTV, and moved her family to Las Vegas. Things did not get better for her there as she started dating her business manager, August Keene. He called the police on her. CPS is supposedly involved again, and things are bad. Still, Jenelle had to deal with David back in North Carolina. Nathan Griffith, father of her son, Kaiser, has said that David assaulted both of the boys, to the point of blood. So what happened when Jenelle testified? According to the Ashley's Reality Roundup, it was gruesome. Jenelle Evans testified back in August, and when she did, she claimed she found a memory card from David's phone. On them, there was allegedly material regarding sexual exploitation of a minor. She did not want him to be around their daughter, Ensley, 7, until he had a psychological evaluation. Jenelle had shared she had custody of their daughter but did not detail why. Now, it all makes sense. Though it was not addressed in the courtroom, the mother of 3 made it clear that she shared her evidence with police, FBI, and custody court. All about the children. After reading about this and even hearing the audio, followers were more concerned about Jenelle Evans' kids. They could not believe they had been exposed to this environment, yet Jenelle continued to stay with David, and you stayed with him. So that makes you an accomplice. FFS, didn't Ensley's CPS report state that type of abuse was suspected? My heart is so broken for those kids. Both JE and David are sewer scum. Edit. Physical sexual abuse was checked, but it didn't indicate which one. Wait, what? I know it's fun to snark Jenelle, but this is serious. I hope this is just her lying, because otherwise things for those kids are much worse than I thought. This is such a touchy situation, but hopefully, the courts take this very seriously and look out for Jenelle's 3 children. It has been so hard all along through absolutely no fault of their own, and it is absolutely tragic. What are your thoughts on the graphic truth Jenelle has revealed? More so, do you think she knew about it all along but stayed regardless? Let us know in the comments below. The tumultuous, often televised saga of former Teen Mom 2-star Jenelle Evans and her estranged husband, David Eason, has descended into a new, profoundly darker chapter. In a recent court testimony that has sent shockwaves through their remaining fanbase and critics alike, Evans took the stand against Eason, revealing gruesome and disturbing allegations that have fundamentally altered the public's perception of their life on the land. While Evans presented herself as a protective mother seeking to shield her children, the graphic nature of her claims has ignited a fierce and contentious debate, with many followers and online commentators now questioning her own role, labeling her not a victim, but an accomplice to the trauma inflicted upon her children. The relationship between Evans and Eason has long been a source of public concern and scrutiny. Their volatile dynamic, marked by domestic disputes, alarming social media posts, and Eason's well-documented aggressive behavior, ultimately led to their firing from MTV in 2019 after Eason shot and killed the family's French bulldog Nugget. Despite this very public breaking point, the couple cycled through a pattern of separation and reconciliation for the next 5 years, hurling accusations at one another, yet repeatedly finding their way back into the same tumultuous household. The fragile dam finally broke in September 2023, when Evans' eldest son, Jace, claimed that David Eason had physically assaulted him. This incident, which led to Jace running away for the 3rd time in 2 months, prompted the involvement of Child Protective Services. While the initial CPS intervention appeared to yield little change, it set in motion a chain of events that culminated in a decisive split. After Jace was returned to her care, Evans left Eason, was tentatively rehired by MTV for a potential new project, and moved her family across the country to Las Vegas. Her fresh start, however, proved short-lived, quickly devolving into a new cycle of chaos involving a problematic new boyfriend and further reported CPS involvement. Yet, the legal ties to North Carolina and David Eason remained. The custody battle over their 7-year-old daughter, Ensley, forced a legal confrontation, and it was in this arena that Jenelle Evans delivered her stunning testimony this past August. According to a detailed report from the Ashley's Reality Roundup, the proceedings took a deeply unsettling turn. Evans testified that she had discovered a memory card from Eason's phone, and on it, she allegedly found material pertaining to the sexual exploitation of a minor. This bombshell allegation formed the core of her argument to the court, as she pleaded that Eason should not be granted unsupervised visitation or custody of their young daughter until he underwent a comprehensive psychological evaluation. While this specific harrowing claim was not directly addressed or entered into evidence during this particular custody hearing, Evans made it clear to the court that she had shared her findings with the police, FBI, and custody court, suggesting an active and severe criminal investigation running parallel to the family court proceedings. This revelation finally provided a concrete and terrifying explanation for why Evans had been granted primary physical custody of Ensley in the preceding months. The public reaction to these disclosures has been one of visceral horror, but the direction of the outrage has been split. While many direct their fury solely at David Eason, a significant and vocal portion of the online community has turned a critical eye toward Jenelle Evans herself. The prevailing sentiment among these critics is one of profound condemnation for her perceived inaction. Comments on forums and social media platforms reflect a fury that she remained in the relationship for years, exposing all of her children to an environment they now believe was not just volatile, but potentially predatory. And you stayed with him, so that makes you an accomplice. FFS read one typical comment, capturing the anger of those who believe Evans shares responsibility for the trauma endured by her children. Another user, expressing heartbreak for the kids, stated, "Both J.E. and David are sewer scum," a sentiment that places them in the same category of culpability. The discourse has escalated beyond mere snark, with many acknowledging the sheer gravity of the allegations. "I know it's fun to snark, Jenelle, but this is serious. I hope this is just her lying, because otherwise things for those kids are much worse than I thought," one user wrote, highlighting the desperate hope that these claims might be an exaggeration, because the alternative reality for the children is too devastating to comprehend. This public reckoning forces uncomfortable questions about the nature of coercion, fear, and complicity within abusive relationships. While Evans' defenders might argue that she was a victim trapped in a cycle of abuse, potentially fearful of leaving, her critics point to a long history of her choosing Eason over the stated well-being of her children. The testimony has cast a harsh, retrospective light on every past CPS report, every police call, and every concerned comment from family members like Nathan Griffith, the father of her son Kaiser, who has previously alleged that David assaulted both Jace and Kaiser to the point of blood. The legal and personal ramifications of this testimony are still unfolding. For David Eason, these allegations, if proven true in a criminal court, could lead to catastrophic consequences far beyond the loss of custody. For Jenelle Evans, the act of testifying may have been a necessary legal strategy to secure her daughter's safety, but in the court of public opinion, it has painted her as an enabler who was complicit until it was legally expedient not to be. The children, Jace, Kaiser, and Ensley, remain the true, innocent victims in this ongoing tragedy, caught between warring parents, a relentless media spotlight, and a childhood marked by instability and alleged trauma. As the legal proceedings continue, the world watches, waiting to see if the courts can untangle this web of abuse and neglect, and finally provide the protection these children have so desperately needed all along.